Ladies and gentlemen, today I would like to talk about how to pronounce any word correctly. First, spell the word aloud. Then, read the word aloud according to tape. Carefully imitate its sound. Then, sound out the word as loudly as possible. Lastly, find a good sentence to do the word. Think about what it means in this sentence. If you follow the steps, you will soon be aware of how well you can pronounce any words. Ladies and gentlemen, today I am talking about to pronounce any words correctly. First, the word aloud. The word aloud to carefully imitate its sound. Then, sound out the words as loudly as possible. As if a good sentence in the word. Think about what it means in this sentence. If you follow the steps, you will soon be aware of how well you can pronounce any words. Ladies and gentlemen, today I would like to talk about how to pronounce any words correctly. First, spell the word aloud. Then, do the word aloud according to the text. Carefully imitate its sound. Then, sound out the word as loudly as possible. Lastly, try the good sentence to the word. Think about what the word means in this sentence. If you follow the text, you will soon be proud of how well you can pronounce any words. Ladies and gentlemen, today I like to talk about to pronounce any word correctly. First, about the word aloud to tape, fully imitate its sound. Then, say out to aloud possible. Lastly, find the good sentence in the word. Think about what it means in this sentence. If you follow the steps, you go to be proud of how God can pronounce any words. Ladies and gentlemen, today I like to talk about how to pronounce any words correctly. First, spell the word aloud. Then, use the word aloud according to tape. Carefully imitate its sound. Then, sound out the word as loudly as possible. Lastly, find a good sentence to the word. Think about what the word means in this sentence. If you find those text, you will be proud of how well you can pronounce any words. Ladies and gentlemen, today I like to round to pronounce any word correctly. First about the word letter, then the word letter, over step, carefully with its sound. Then sound out the word loudly possible. Lastly, find the good sentence to the word. Think about what to make in this sentence. If you find those steps, you will be proud of how well you can pronounce any words. Ladies and gentlemen, today I would like to talk about how to pronounce any words correctly. First, spell the word aloud. Then, read the word aloud according to the text. Carefully imitate its sound. Then, sound out the word as loudly as possible. Lastly, find a good sentence to the word. Think about what it means in this sentence. If you follow the text, you will soon be proud of how well you can pronounce any words. Ladies and gentlemen, today I will talk about to pronounce any words correctly. First, about the word aloud. The word aloud will step carefully imitate its sound. Then sound out the word as loudly as possible. Lastly, find a good sentence during the word. Think about what to mean in sentence. If you follow the steps, you will soon be proud of how well you can pronounce any words. Ladies and gentlemen, today I would like to talk about how to pronounce any words correctly. First, spell the word aloud. Then, read the word aloud according to tape. Carefully imitate its sound. Then, sound out the word as loudly as possible. Lastly, find a good sentence to the word. Think about what the word means in this sentence. If you follow the text, you will be proud of how well you can pronounce any words. Ladies and gentlemen, today I have to round to pronounce any word correctly. First of all, the word aloud, the word aloud to tape, carefully imitate its sound. Then sound out the word aloud basketball. Lastly, find a good sentence to the word. Think about what to make sentences. If you follow steps, you will be proud of how well you can pronounce any words. Ladies and gentlemen, today I would like to talk about how to pronounce any words correctly. First, spell the word aloud. Then, read the word aloud according to tape. Carefully imitate each sound. Then, sound out the word as loudly as possible. Lastly, find a good sentence to the word. Think about what the word means in this sentence. If you follow these steps, you will see proud of how well you can pronounce any words. Ladies and gentlemen, today I talk about autonomous any words correctly. First, about the go aloud. The go aloud. The tape. Confident imitate its sound. The sound to go aloud in the basketball. Lastly, final go send the word. Think about what to mean in the sentence. It's the final step. You go to be wrong. How guys can last any words. Ladies and gentlemen, today I like about how to pronounce any word correctly. First, spell the word aloud. Then, to the word aloud, according to the tape. Carefully imitate its sound. Then, sound out the word as loudly as possible. Lastly, find a good sentence to read the word. Think about what the word means in this sentence. If you follow the text, you will be proud of how well you can pronounce any words. Ladies and gentlemen, today I like to pronounce tumors in words correctly. First, about the word aloud. The word aloud to the tape. Carefully imitate its sound. The sound of the word aloud by possible. Lastly, find good sound in the words. Think about God's room is this. It's your fellow steps. You go to be around how God can pronounce any words. Ladies and gentlemen, today I like to talk about how to pronounce any words correctly. First, spell the word aloud. Then, read the word aloud according to tape. Carefully imitate its sound. Then, sound out the word as loudly as possible. Lastly, find a good sentence to read the word. Think about what the word means in this sentence. If you follow this text, you will be aware of how well you can pronounce any words. Ladies and gentlemen, today I talk about how to pronounce any words correctly. First, about the word aloud. The word aloud will tape. Carefully imitate its sound. The sound of the word aloud the basketball. Lastly, find a good sentence in the word. Think about what's going to be in sentences. If you follow steps, you will be aware of how guys can pronounce any words. Ladies and gentlemen, today I would like to talk about how to pronounce any words correctly. First, spell the word aloud. Then, read the word aloud according to tape. Carefully imitate its sound. Then, sound out the word as loudly as possible. Lastly, find a good sentence to do the word. Think about what the word means in this sentence. If you follow the text, you will see me proud of how well you can pronounce any words. Ladies and gentlemen, today I like to pronounce romance in English correctly. First, let the go aloud, and the go aloud to the tape. Company imitate its sound. Then, send out the words aloud basketball. Let's make a good sentence in words. Think about what some incident and lesson. And, listen. And, listen. If you follow steps, you will see me proud of how guys can pronounce any words. Ladies and gentlemen, today I like to pronounce romance in English correctly. First, let the go aloud, and the go aloud to the tape. Company imitate its sound. Then, send out the words aloud basketball. Let's make a good sentence in words. Think about what some incident and lesson. If you follow steps, you will see me proud of how guys can pronounce any words. Was. Ladies and gentlemen, today I would like to talk about how to pronounce English words correctly. First, spell the word aloud, then say the word aloud according to text. Carefully imitate its sound, then sound out the word as loudly as possible. Lastly, find a good sentence to do the word. Think about what you miss in this sentence. If you follow this text, it's going to be proud of how well you can pronounce English words. Ladies and gentlemen, today I talk about some numbers in the words correctly. First about the words and the word type. Carefully imitate its sound. Then sound the word salary basketball. Lastly, find a good sentence in the word. Think about what you miss in this sentence. If you follow this text, it's going to be proud of how God can pronounce any words.